my name is Michelle and it's a tutorial day. It's also Halloween. Happy Halloween, my friends. I hope that today is wonderful for you. I apologize. I was hoping to get this out before Halloween and maybe have a couple more of these for you. Did not happen. But it's here today. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the one with the cute face. Here's the one with the cute face. I'm going to make a back eventually for this. And isn't that adorable? And then here's the one with the silly face. And it's squishy. You could leave it open up at the bottom and have a little puppet. You can put it on as an applique onto something. And you could put a string on it and make it an ornament. So I'm pretty excited about these, and I think they're just pretty fun little goofy things. Yeah, his face. Check out that face. Anyway, let's get over to the creation station, and I will teach you how to make your own jack-o'-lantern, and hopefully you get a cute face. What you need for this is yarn. I have, this is just like mainstays from Walmart. 100% acrylic. You could pretty much use any yarn. You would just change your needle size for your yarns. I have a green. You're not going to need a lot of green. You're not going to need a lot of orange either. They're not huge projects. You need some green and probably about a yard of black. I guess you could use yellow, but typically black. This is just going to be for doing the jack-o'-lantern face. This is going to be for doing the stem. You'll need a yarn needle, the blunt needles, some kind of scissors, and of course a crochet hook. I am using a little bit smaller crochet hook than I would normally use with this yarn. So normally I would use like an H or an I, maybe even a J with this yarn. Because I want to stuff this, I am choosing a smaller hook. So I'm actually using a G hook today. Okay, I'm coming in and putting this in. I cut this out and put it in. You needed fluff. I forgot to tell you that with what we needed. Just some polyfill, however much you need. That's only if you're making it as a stuffy. And let me show you, this is one that I made with a G hook. This one here has one less round, and I made it with an H hook, and you can see the stitches are a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit looser. I can actually, I can kind of see the holes in it. Possibly it might even be a good idea to go even smaller. So those are some things to consider. Like I said, this one has one more round than this one. That's okay. Just make sure if you are doing this as either a puppet or as a little stuffy, like figuring that you put stuffing in, that you use the same size hook. If you were just making it as something that you just want to applique onto something, or make it, put a string to have as a decoration, then it doesn't matter if you do them the same. You can use different size hooks and get different looks. Now, to start with, I'm going to do a magic ring. I'm going to hold the yarn in my left hand. I'm going to wrap it around once. And when I wrap it around, I'm making an X on this side. My X is more on the side, I guess. So I'm going to hold it in my hand. I cross over and I kind of hold it with my finger. I'm going to go up underneath this one and grab it that, and then I'm going to hook it over the one that comes towards the back. So my front yarn here this is my front yarn. I'm going to go around once, wrap it around the second time, making sure it crosses either on the bottom or the side, and then, so this is my back yarn. I'm going to go under, grab my back yarn and pull it through, and then loop my back yarn and pull it through like that and pull that tight. That does not count as a chain, that just gets us our loop. It counts as our knot. I will show you an alternative as well. For those of you who are like, I just can't figure that out, just go ahead and you will chain 2, and then you are going to put your single crochets in that first chain, which is the second chain from the hook. I like to do the magic ring, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to hold it in my hand, I'm going to wrap around, make sure it has an X, grab it with my finger so that I can pull it up through, and then hook this yarn and pull it through, make a little knot, tie that tight, and now I'm ready to start. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 6 single crochets. And if you're doing the chain, you're going to do 6 single crochets in that chain. Six. Okay, and then you're going to pull this, pull your tail, and it tightens it. And then you are going to slip stitch in the top. So either way, you're going to connect that top one, you're going to slip stitch in the top so that you have 6 around. Tighten up your knot, tighten up your slip knot. Some people feel like this is enough. I'm not sure what they do differently than me, but I always like to take and weave this back and forth a couple times just to make sure that that doesn't loosen up. And I'm going to chain 1, and this time we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So by the time we're done, we'll have 12. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. Now we move to the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochets. And then the next stitch, and one more. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. Then I'm going to count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the top of my first one and have a little circle. Depending on how the size of your crochet hook, this may lay flatter, it might try to curl up a little bit like this. It's all okay, it will work out in the end. We're going to be working in little sets. There's 6 sets around. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in that same stitch we come up out of, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And now what we're going to do is do half double crochets. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and I have stitch tutorial or basics you can find up in the iCard. So we've got 2 half double crochets, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet, and we're going to repeat that. We're going to do 2 half double crochets, and then we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Okay, so we've done 2 sets with half double crochets and 1 set with single crochets. We are going to repeat that again. So we are going to do 2 single crochets here, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next. We're going to do 2 half double crochets, and then 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch at the top of our first single crochet. Okay, so now it's starting to kind of oval out a little bit. We are going to do a similar thing. We are always going to do a set of single crochets for whatever increase we're going to do around, and then we're going to do 2 sets of double, and half double, 2 sets of half double, 1 set of single, 2 sets of half double, and we do 6 sets all the way around. And that's important in case you want to make this bigger. So chain 1, and this time we are going to do our increases at the end. So I'm going to do a single crochet, and then I'm going to do a second single crochet, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then now that was my first set, and I'm going to do half double crochets. So I'm going to do 1 half double crochet, another half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that again. A half double crochet, a half double crochet, oops, missed, and 2 in the next stitch. Okay, now we're going back to do single crochets again, so we're going to single crochet, 2 single crochets. Okay, that was our single crochet set. So now we need to do 2 more half double crochets sets. So half double crochet, half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets. And half double crochet, half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets. And then we are going to slip stitch in the top of our first single crochet. And as you can see, it's starting to look even more ovally. And you can kind of tug a little bit and it will help create the shape that you want. If you notice that some areas looking a little angular or whatever, we are going to chain again. This time we need 3 single crochets. So I'm going to do my increase at the beginning. I'm going to put 2 in this first one. When I say 3 single crochets, it's because I do an increase and then 3. If you noticed, we had 6, then we increased in every stitch, so that became 12. Then we did an increase 1, and then we did 2 stitches and an increase. Now we're going to do an increase in 3. Hope that's making sense and not confusing you. I will be having a circle video explaining how to do circles coming out, and it will end up in my basics playlist, so you can go check there to try to understand a little bit more about circles. So we're going to do, we did an increase, now we're doing 3. That was our single crochet set where we did an increase and then 3 single crochets. Now we're going to do 2 sets with half doubles. So we're going to do an increase with half double crochets, 2 in the next stitch, and then we're going to do 3, 1 single crochet or half double crochet in each one of these. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that 2 half double crochets, half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. Now we are going to do a set of single crochets. So 2 single crochets in this first stitch. That's our increase. And then 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. With half double crochets, we're going to do an increase in the first stitch. 1, 2, and then a half double crochet in each of the next stitches. 1, 2, 3. One more set. My phone keeps notifying. It's really annoying. I'm videoing here, guys. Okay, last set. 2 half double crochets in the first one. This is our increase. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and of course slip stitch up in the first stitch. Okay, like I said, you kind of stretch it out a little bit. If it's got a corner, I stretch it. Then decide. So like if I was doing this pumpkin, you know, maybe I wanted it that small. This uses a different crochet hook size, but that would be the same number of rows. I want mine to match this one, and so if you want to count rows on a circle, you got your inner circle here. What? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 rounds in this pumpkin. This one here has that inner circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one more. And if you will notice, on my odd rows, because I had this with didn't increase, that was the beginning. I increased every one, and then I increased and put 1 in the middle. That's an odd row. So I put my increase in the beginning. On my even rows, I go 1, 2, even, or 1, 2, increase. On my odd rows, I put my increase at the beginning, and then I did increase 1, 2, 3. So this time there's 4 in between my increases, and I'm going to put my increase at the end. So I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to single crochet in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to put my increase. If you want to make these bigger, and you just want to keep going out and make them even bigger, keep adding single crochets or half double crochets in the middle. Keep switching the place where you put your every other row. Switch where your increase is, and just make it until you get the size you want. So this row I had 4. The next row I would put my increase at the beginning, and I would put 5. The next row after that I would do 6 and then put my increase, and I would keep going back and forth until I got it as big as I wanted. And as you noticed, we did a single crochet, then we're going to do 2 half double crochet sections, single crochet, 2 half double crochet, and you'll keep doing that until you get the pumpkin size that you want. So I've done my increases here, so now I'm going to do half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do my increase, so 2 in the same stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to repeat that again. 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do my increase. Okay, and next we do single crochets. So single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do my increase. Okay, now I'm going to move back to half double crochets. So I'm going to do half double crochet 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to do my increase. So that's 2 in the same stitch, 2 half double crochets, and now I'm going to do 4 more half double crochets because I got 1 more section to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase in my last stitch. slip stitch to the top of the first single crochet. Okay, this now is the same size as this, which is what I wanted. I'm going to leave myself a very long tail on this one. On this one I did not, I left a fairly short tail, but I want to be able to sew around the whole thing. So I'm going to leave a long tail for sewing around. I cut it, but now I'm moving on to the next thing before I do anything else with that orange. So now I need my green. Like I said, we don't need a lot of green. If you do make a bigger pumpkin than this, you might want to use a little more green and kind of play around with your stem a little bit. I'm just going to hold my yarn here and pull it on through and do a single crochet. And then do a single crochet in the next stitch and a single crochet in the next stitch. And I did work over my ends as well. Okay, so I've worked over both ends and I'm just kind of leaving that there. I'm going to turn my work, chain one, and then I'm just going to go underneath and pick up as if I was going to do a single crochet, leave it there. Go in the next one, pick up as if I was going to do a single crochet, leave it there. Go in my last one, pick up as if I'm going to do a single crochet, leave it there, pull through all of them, and then I'm going to do one more chain. That is my finishing off. Snip my yarn, pull that through, tighten it up, and that is how you do the stem. Options, 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 choices, choices, choices. One option is you could have tied off your orange. Pull it a little bit and snug that in there. You could have tied off your orange and sewed it all together and then put your two things together and did your green across so that it was just one layer of green for both. That would look like, pick a spot on one of the flat ends, do a knot in it, stick it through both sides, pull it up, finish off the single crochet, go in another one, pull it up, single crochet, go in another one, pull it up, single crochet, turn your work, do one, two, three, pull it up, go through all, tie it off. You could do that, and then that way it's just one layer, a little pumpkin thing on the top, which is one option. I had already done this, so I'm going to stick with that. That's one way you could do it. You could leave one of your yarns long enough that you could use your greens to kind of tie your greens together as you're going around. I'm going to show you guys what I do here. So with the needle, if you are leaving this solid for somebody, make sure that you tuck in the ends all the way. I didn't even bother cutting mine off because I'm just going to be sewing them together and fluffing it in, so I'll just make sure that they're tucked in and it will just act as stuffing. You can't see it through, so that works for me. But so that this doesn't come loose, I like to just go through a few stitches here, one direction, and then maybe go back the other way over a few stitches and call it good. That way I know it's not going to come undone. Like I said, I'm going to leave this and just let it kind of be stuffing in the middle. Tie these off as well. I'm going to not go back down through here because that's right where it is. I'm just going to come around the edge so that it kind of catches on something. And that was worked in underneath. And if I want, I can go under an orange one as long as I can't see my needle on this side. It will not show through. And then I kind of pull it down so it will come down into the center here to be stuffing. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to send it down. I'm going to send it back up, just in anywhere. I'm going to send it back down one more time. I might go under an orange towards the center just so that this for sure doesn't get as in my way when I'm sewing it up. Okay, so I could trim these off if I wanted to, but I'm just going to use them for stuffing. That's what I was trying to say. Now, when you're sewing these together, you can sew it to here, leave a space opening for fingers, 1 or 2 fingers, sew up the other side, and you have a puppet, or you can sew it all the way around. You have a choice. You could put your face on now, or you could put your face on after. I'm going to pick which one I want to be the front side. I'm going to put my face on now. I think it's a little easier. I'm going to pick where I want my eye to be. I'm going to come up in. Actually, if you need to, you can send it through. Again, make sure you can't see it on the other side. Go under a few. Go under in kind of a slightly different place. Make sure my greens don't get caught in there. That's especially if you're going to, once you've got it in both times, if you want to trim off this little extra, you can. That's especially if it's going to be like the back of something and you want less that's visible. Like if I don't attach something on, this is kind of ugly. If it was just to hang around, I want to make a back to put on this and make it another little stuffy. But if I didn't, like, that would be a cute coaster. Maybe another round or around, make it a cute coaster. And if that was the case, then I would want to hide these as best as I can back here. Okay, so I'm going to pick where I want my eye to come and be. And I want my eye shape to be a triangle. So I'm going to kind of come over down on an angle. I'm going to come up in the same spot. And I'm going to come down on an angle over here. I like to do that. And then fill in the center. So I'm going to come back up in the same spot, kind of go next to it just to get it in a different spot. Come up and go over to the other side. You can go through the yarn if that helps. And I'm going to do one more just to make sure it's nice and solid. A little triangle there. Might kind of pull some of this out a little bit. And then the other thing I like to do is go over here, come across the bottom, and go in at the other end of my triangle. My triangle's a little rounder on this time, and that's okay. Wouldn't be so bad if my other one matches. So if I wanted to make it neater on the back here, I would go under here, go across to underneath stitches to approximately where I think my other side is. Try to keep them under, going under stitches, but again, before I get too far, I want to check and make sure it's not showing through on the other side. Okay. Then that way it's kind of hiding under there and it's not as visible. Makes it neater. Okay, top of my eye, I want him over here. You can make any shape for your eyes, guys, just like carving pumpkins. You can play around with different shapes. If you wanted to use embroidery floss, some people like amigurumi people a lot of times will use embroidery floss. I feel like I need to do one over to here. And I'm going to come across the bottom just because I want it to be like that. I just like that. Oh, that's fine. That one turned out to be a triangle on the side. This one's a little different shaped, and that's okay because you know what? When I'm carving pumpkins, half the time that's what mine look like. This time I'm not going to worry about hiding it, but see how much easier that is on the eye when it's hidden than this? Because if I cut that off, that's how you would do it. You kind of slide it underneath things. I'm not going to worry about that because it is getting tucked inside, but I did want to show you. So I'm going to kind of make a circle, or close to a circle for his nose. Try not to catch these other ones inside my space. So hold them out of the way. I'm going to go up at the top, pick a place lower, and I'm just going to keep going up pretty much in the same spot. And it will kind of poof out around, kind of maybe lean to one side of the, where I'm coming up over the other. And I can kind of shift it a little bit, and you can do this. Just keep going till you get a shape that you want. I'm happy with that. It's not super big deal to me that it's perfect. I'm going to pick a place over here. Decide what kind of mouth shape I want. This one here, I did like a little, all this is a string across. I might do it a little different in the future, but I think it's fine. I did a little vampire looking guy. I think I'm going to come here. And then I'm going to come up over here. And just kind of make an outline of the face that I want. Sure what that caught on. That sounded so funny. I think it caught this. And I think whoops. And that's what happens when you go back out the same place. I'm gonna come up here to the top of his mouth. I'm gonna come down to about the middle. And then I'm going to come up to the top of his other side. Oops. That was funny. I grabbed the green and came up. Pull my yarn so I have a little more space. And then I'm just going to fill in my little outline. Side. I like that the faces, you can just be just as creative with the face shape as you would making your own pumpkins. This side, I'm going to go one more over across this because I got some orange showing through. And that could do one more. I think I'm going to do one more. So you just keep going until you get the shape you want or it fills in the way that you want. Maybe some people are more meticulous about it and they really want specific shapes, but I think he's kind of fun. Almost looks like the top of lips. Then I'm just going to tie this off at the end. I'm just going to go under a few stitches one direction. Come back again, make sure that I'm catching something over here so I don't just undo what I just did. And go in again under some things. I try to go in under a few different things. And then again, I could cut this or I'm just going to leave it for stuffing. Like that. And that's this guy's face. Now it's time to sew these together. I'm going to line it up so that my stems are together. If you wanted, you could do single crochets around. For that, you wouldn't cut this off. You would wait until the very end. You would just leave it and then you could pick it up again. And single crochet. I'm just going to whip stitch. So I'm going to go from front to back. All the way around in each of the next stitches on the top edge here. So I've got my V's. This came out over here, so I'm going to go in underneath this one and the same one on the other side. So I'm going straight from front to back. It doesn't look like it because my stitches are slightly after each other. But I'm going straight from the front, straight to the one in back, and then my angle's coming across the top as it goes around. I'm going to speed this up. Let's talk about if you wanted to do it as a puppet. I've gone to about here. I'd pick about where I want my thing to be. I would take this around to the inside and then I would like go across one of the sides until I want it to come out and then I'd start again. I would like thread it underneath, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go to probably somewhere right in here and then I'm going to stuff it. I think I did a little bit tighter tension on my first circle because it seems a little bit bigger this time, but I know that the stitch count should be the same going around. Either that or I skipped something, which is also a possibility. Okay, now I'm gonna get my polyfill. Okay, so I'm gonna take some stuffing stuff. Not really worried about where my yarns inside end out because you can't see them, so I'm just kind of pushing them to the side so that I can put my stuffing in. I like to stuff the opposite side first, just to fill that side up a little bit, and then take some more. This time I'm going to go down towards the bottom, make sure the bottom is filled up. And then I'll add a little bit more. I want it to be nice and fluffy. And then when I got enough stuffing in it, I'm going to tuck that down in. I'm going to keep going around. Finish sewing him up. Okay. Now I'm here where my green is, and I could end this off and use green, but I'm actually just going to go inside here and grab a bit of the green here. It's going to get a little awkward on the other side, but I'm kind of grabbing it from the inside so that it doesn't show. Because I want them together, but I don't want my orange yarn to show. So I'm going to grab a bit on this side and grab a bit on this side. And then I'll come over here and grab a bit over here. Pull this a little bit so that it's not short or not long and not too long. Grab a bit on this side, maybe. And then I'm going to see if I can get one more. Grab a bit inside on that side. And then grab a bit inside on that side. Okay, so then it just kind of pulled that together at the top. I'm going to come over a little ways. So stick it and come over a little ways and pull it. The biggest challenge I have is figuring out how to tie it off. I'm sure there's somebody who does a better job. I picked somewhere that's kind of inside the stitches. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, so you have your outside part of the stitches and your inside part of the stitches. But when you kind of pull up underneath, there's like little loops that are towards the back. I like to do a little knot around the back of that. I need to actually do some more learning about amigurumis to learn some of these techniques, and because I'm sure there is a better way. So I'm just going to find that loop that's inside, and then I'm going to pull it part way, and then I'm going to make my knot right around there so that it's kind of tight on that, and then I'm going to send my needle back in and come out somewhere and pull it down, and I'm going to pull so make sure that that knot doesn't show. Kind of tug just a little bit, not tugging it so that it scrunches it in like that, but I'm going to pull it a little bit to trim it, and then when I stretch that part back out, it just pops that in back in. So that's my jack-o'-lantern. He's got a silly face, but I like it. This face is cuter, in my opinion. The thing is, like I said, it's unique. Each face is unique, and they have it. I love this eye. I think that's so cute because it kind of ended up on the angle. And then you just got yourself a little squishy. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you are having a happy Halloween, And remember to let your light shine through your creations, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!